All right, so when you do role plays, there are certain topics you're going to run into most often. You might run into things about ethics. You might run into things about safety and regulations. You might run into promotions. Promotions are probably the biggest things you're going to run into. Technology that you're going to be utilizing, and customer service. So let me talk about ethics. Ethics is the moral standard that people tend to live by. Typically, this is developed by religion or how your parents raised you or life events that have occurred. For the most part, you just want to, when it comes to ethics, whether it be business or personal, there's some things you want to think about. The one thing you might want to throw in your role play is something to the effect of, before we do something, we got to ask ourselves, if this was published in a newspaper, would this be something I'd be proud of or okay with? We might want to ask ourselves, is it legal in the first place before you even do it? So if it's not legal, don't even bother doing it. But you want to make sure that's one of the things you kind of throw out there. First of all, is it legal? And then, are you hurting anybody when you're doing it? And then you might want to also look into, if this were published in a newspaper, would we be okay with it? So if you stole a water bottle from a business and take it home with you, if that got published, most likely that would sound really awkward. It'd come out in a newspaper, so-and-so stole a water bottle or stole items from the store. And you don't want that. That just wouldn't sound right. So those are probably some of the things you might want to throw in there, something to that effect. Safety and regulations. Anytime anything has to do with safety, let's say somebody fell and tripped and that was a big issue, or there was a fire or something that may have affected the business in some way, shape, or form, they want you to come up with some kind of safety standard or be compliant or non-compliant. Compliant means you're following the rules and regulations. Non-compliant means you're not following the rules. But there are key things you want to mention. When it comes to health and safety in the workplace, you want to mention OSHA, which is Occupational Safety and Health Administration. As long as you say OSHA somewhere in there, that's definitely going to wake up some eyes, because a lot of people know what OSHA is. You at the high school level probably don't hear about it too much, but definitely in the business world, it gets spoken about a lot because it's something managers have to comply with. Now, if you're doing with anything food related, you want to say the health department. So if it's related to food, you want to throw in there the words health department or something related to that to get them going to that. If it has anything to do with endangering the lives of people because you're polluting or doing something of that nature, you're going to mention the word EPA or the Environmental Protection Agency. Promotions. Promotions is the most common one you're going to get. There are going to be all sorts of ways of promoting. Most of you will probably go straight to social media. When you do social media, make sure you mention the different types of social media. So you want to say, I will use Facebook. Don't just say Facebook. Say you're going to create a Facebook page, talk about creating status updates, most likely add a picture to every status update. That way it hogs up more of the news feed so more people will be able to see it. So it hogs up that news feed. So add a picture, add a video, and try to get people engaged by asking questions like, by the way, what's the best place to eat in the city? And you can start a little debate on your page and people will get into it. So you want to do things to promote within the Facebook page. Then you have Twitter. Create a hashtag. Obviously, Facebook has hashtags now too. But within Twitter, you create a hashtag, and you can link all the details from your organization to a particular hashtag. Great thing to utilize. And Twitter is very fast-paced. Instagram, same thing. You could add a hashtag and post many pictures about your organization to get people excited about what the place is doing. Other promotion plans might be loyalty programs, where if they buy 2 to 3 of a certain thing, they get the 5th one free or the 4th one free. They could be things like billboards, commercials, print ads, radio advertising. You can do things like different flavors of the month, things that are going to get people coming in more often, so those could be promotions. You could do street promotions as well, having someone going around speaking about what the product is. And there's probably other promotions we could do, but those are the only ones I come up with, but off the top of my head, I'll try to come up with some more. Technology. A lot of you just say things that are technology related, but you have to make sure you emphasize the word technology before you say it. So when we say utilize social media, you want to say, we're going to utilize technology in promotion. And one of the biggest promotion things that we can do with utilizing technology is using a computer to access the internet and do social media. So you want to make sure you at least say the word technology, because most of you are very tech savvy, so you'll be able to do this no problem, but you want to make sure that you're very clear when you're about to say a technology product. Say the word technology to snap into the heads of the judges. Lastly, customer service. The biggest thing you want to say is you want to have a customer service mindset. You want to make sure that when it comes to a customer, you got to be proactive. You have to make sure that if you see an issue, you try to fix it before the customer even tells you about it. If you're a waiter and you see a cup that's low, you go by and you pick it up. It's being proactive. If you see a spill, you clean up before it becomes an issue. If you see someone struggling with their bags, you go and ask them, may I assist you with this? So you have to be proactive. That's the big main key. The other thing, if a person ever complains to you about an issue, you want to make sure you go up to them and you say, thank you for bringing this problem to me. I'm going to be the one to make sure that we take care of this today. And I'm so glad you saw me, because I will make sure that this problem is resolved today. So you have to be proactive. If there's any issue, like let's say you want to train your staff on how to be better customer service representatives, you might want to throw in the idea of listening to the issue, responding to the issue by saying, okay, thank you for bringing that issue to my attention. I'm going to do my best to actually do it. Then you're actually going to do it, which is acting. You're going to act on it and actually do what it is you say to the customer that you're actually going to do. And lastly, you want to follow up. You have to have a follow-up with the customer and say, so did that work out for you? And if they say yes, excellent. If not, you repeat. So listen, respond to them, let them know what you're going to do, actually do it, so act on it, and lastly, follow up. So those are some of the main things I've noticed in many of the role plays. We have things on ethics, safety, promotions, technology, customer service. Hopefully this little video can kind of assist with that. Thank you very much.